Back by popular demand, we have the prototype from Poppy Playtime in 4 different styles. And the styles that I'm going to have for you today are realistic, stone, cartoon, and cracked. Let's start off with the cartoon effect. The cartoon is always a really great place to start. It's kind of like a solid example of what to do, but I have an important question. Do I talk too much in the video? I've gotten a couple of comments like this, and I just would rather know, what do you think? Do I talk too much, or should I tone it down a little? Here is a great Posca marker paint pen tip. You see how I'm moving? This is the speed in which I apply my paint pens. This allows you for smooth coverage and to get the maximum so you don't get that streakiness whenever you lay down your paint pens. If you go nice and slow and do half strokes at a time, you'll get smooth coverage and it'll look like a sticker's just stamped right on your drawings. With some of my cartoon effects, I usually do 2 to 3 highlights or shadows. This, I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm going to keep it 1, maybe 2 tones at most. I really want it to look like a strong, emblematic image. I want to focus more on the coloring and the coverage, but also the consistency of the lines to make it that nice, smooth cartoon effect. Again, I want to showcase, just look how smooth the color is put down. And that's because I'm not forcing the color down on the page. That's how you'll get those really saturated Posca paint pen colors. Finish up with a nice little bold outline, but I'm also going to focus on consistency of line weight throughout. I don't want too much thick and thin lines. I want them to all feel the same all throughout. With this section complete, we are now going to head on over to the stone effect. I haven't done this one in a really long time, and basically, I want this to look like a stone statue. Not like the cracked effect that you're going to see later, but a little bit more advanced. It's like the cracked effect meets grayscale. So we're going to focus on how statues look. They are not absolute dark. They are lots of tones of gray and mid-grays. This is a really great challenge to keep your values in place. Learn shadows, learn highlights, learn how items recess in the distance in stonework and how they pop forward, how it almost looks like a carved statue. That's quintessentially what we want to do here. Make this thing look like a carved statue. How do we do that? Well, we want to punch in the darkest darks and keep the lightest lights, and we want a great disparage between the two. Then what we're going to do is add little dots throughout. We're going to keep the shadows very minimal. We're going to add a lot more cracked lines than what's normally on the prototype. Line work and line weight is very important here. Some lines are going to be thicker and bolder, and some are going to be a little sleek and smooth. And the reason for that is we want the teeth to either recede or pop forward. Now we're going to add the little dots. This is what's called pithing. That's what's going to give it those little chipped erosion effects that can happen with stone over time. And now that the prototype's been made to stone, it's time to crack them. And if you've seen my videos before, the cracked effect is quintessentially basically making it look like cracked stone. As you can see, we sketched out the areas where the cracks I want them to be, and that's the areas that have been falled away through erosion over time. But now you get to add as much color and as much shadow as you like. It's one of my favorite effects because it doesn't necessarily require a large amount of skill. It just requires a large amount of patience to make sure you don't go over the lines too terribly. So for this particular section, I am going to add a little bit of detail, but nothing too crazy. Another reason why I love this effect so much is that you can do this with color pencils, you could do this with crayons, you can do it with Posca, you can do it with any medium. It just requires slightly different variations, but you don't need expensive equipment to get fantastic results with it. And that is where I think the beauty of a lot of the effects that I like to showcase is that you don't need all of the art supplies to get a really cool coverage. And lastly, you can add as many or as little crack marks as you like. I am going to use the line work here to accentuate the crack marks, so I'm not always going to just give it a bold outline throughout. I am going to change the outline slightly to allow for the more cracked effect to show through. Last minute shadows thrown in, and we're going to call this complete as we head on over to the realistic side. Now, this doesn't require a ton of explanation, mainly because the prototype is lots of grays, bold blues, bold reds, bold yellows. So instead, what we're going to showcase is the color wheel. We're not going to use stereotypical grays throughout this. In fact, we're going to add green grays, blue grays, etc. And the reason why we're doing this is because you really want to showcase color. Color is incredibly important whenever you're trying to achieve realism. The teeth aren't blue. We aesthetically know that. But when we add gray over the top and we add color pencil over the top, it adds that dimension of realism. It gives more vitality to it. When you work in grays over the top of a simple color, when you add blacks and whites over the top of simple color, it gets more of a plastic, synthetic look. But when we start to add blues and yellows, and when I add this teal color over the top, it muddies the blue and it makes it a little bit green in some spots, and it makes that teeth just that extra more vicious. It gives that next dimensionality to your drawings. I'm going to dot my grays in layers here, and the reason why I'm doing that is I want the face to have this kind of chipped, smudgy look to it. I don't want it smooth. The prototype is very gruff, very rough, and we want to showcase that. And how do we do that? By adding lots and lots of grays, of blues and greens over the top, and that will give it that dimension of all these little dings and damages that the prototype has shaped over this time. I am adding extremely a lot more cracks than I normally would. That's because I want to showcase more damage. This is just purely an aesthetic thing. Now, if you are a beginner, here's an excellent tip. I'm going to add lots of grays down over the top. This way, when I add my color, I can now add a darker color. And when we blend, as you're seeing here, you can go over the top, but you want to bounce back and forth between the two colors. That's how you're going to get really smooth blends with your alcohol markers. As you can see, this is at speed, so when I add the dark color over the top, and as I'm going to then blend in the next layer of alcohol marker, I take a mid-tone, then I take a dark, and then I'm going to go back to that same mid-tone color of red, and then when I really scrub it in, the alcohol eats it away, and we're going to get a nice soft blend. This is a really good tip for beginner artists. If you ever have a problem with alcohol markers, this is a really good tip. Make sure you get a nice gray down and then layer in. And as you're going to see, I repeat the process here with the blue. And then for that next level, take a color pencil. Here I'm doing a midnight blue, and I'm punching in all of those darks right there. And that is once again how you get that next layer of realism in your drawings. I hope these tips have helped. If you think they have and you like the content that you see, then please do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out and it lets YouTube know that you really like the content. I really want to know, what is your favorite drawing that you saw here today? Let me know in the comments, and as always, I shall see you all in the next video.